A recent study showed that college students spend an average of 17 hours per week on social media. As this number slowly increases, it's important to ask, is this really worth a piece of your time? Everywhere you look, you're bound to see many different people glued to their smartphones, while they're walking, waiting for food, or even when they're supposed to be studying. Then it should come to no surprise that 73% of students reported feeling anxious when separated from their phones. This is a telltale sign that you might be addicted to your smartphone. Smartphone addiction can be defined as the inability to control smartphone use despite negative effects on users. Some of these negative effects include anxiety and depression, poor sleep, poor school and work performance. But why do we keep going back to social media despite these negative effects? The culprit is dopamine. Dopamine is the feel good hormone produced by our brains, and it acts as the brain's reward system when we experience something pleasurable. Dopamine level surges when we eat our favorite foods or have successful social interactions. Traditional ways of getting dopamine by social interaction require quite a bit of effort. However, if you're alone or simply don't want to put in the effort, social media provides a shortcut way of, well, being social. The shares, likes, and comments on these platforms trigger the brain's reward center, resulting in a high similar to the one people feel when gambling or using drugs. This puts us in a perpetual social media feedback loop where we expect the same surge of dopamine constantly. Social media platforms are intentionally addictive because the longer you spend on their apps, the more revenue they make from ads.
Chamath Palihapitiya, a former Facebook executive once in charge of user growth, now says he has tremendous guilt about the social network he helped build.
We have created tools that are ripping apart the social fabric of how society works. We kind of knew something bad could happen.
For social media addiction, the goal is to use the internet in a controlled manner, not to give up social media entirely. One way of lowering social media use is to disable notifications. If you don't see a social media icon or alert every time you pick up your phone, you're less likely to spend time on it. Another way to reduce your time on social media is to dedicate your time to hobbies or activities. Fill up your free time with things that you enjoy. For example, petting your favorite cat, going to the gym, or playing a board game with your roommates. This better be a pretty roll. Life is short, and if you'd set your phone down to appreciate the little joys and live in the moment, perhaps you'll realize that social media is not worth a piece of your time.